How are you guys? Welcome to another edition and welcome to my YouTube channel. First of all, Alaye, press subscribe button, press send button, press share button, press follow button. Thank you. How are you lot doing? Welcome. So today, we'll be discussing something really quite emotional, and I want us to learn or pick one or two from today's session. How have you guys been? How are you? How is the family? How is just everything at your hand? I hope you're well. Um, we'll be discussing about childcare, childcare. This is usually like overemphasized. This cannot literally be overemphasized while moving to the UK. And most of the time, I would say that they say charity begins at home. I would say that is what we should be, already imbibing as we journey here or journey anywhere. Actually, journey anywhere. Actually, I'll say to you, even in America and in Canada. So I have a personal story that I could share with you people. I remember when I went to have my baby, which is my daughter, in the US, and I was pregnant. I was heavily pregnant, and I held my son along. And we used to have, my sister used to stay in California. She still stays in California anyway. And I remember that she used to stay at the top floor, and we had neighbors who were staying, on the ground. And I don't know, maybe this story is true. Whenever you sort of like pregnant, the older child seems to be restless, wants to be gumming body with you, wants to be in your space, and all of that. So that was my experience. My son was really getting very naughty, wanted me to carry him, wanted me to do everything for him, and anything he wanted at that point, if he doesn't get it, it was issue. He was making noise. I can remember clearly that he used a Vaseline, that Vaseline rubber, what's it called, container. He threw it at my sister's maybe like very big inch TV and shattered the screen. You would go to where water dispenser is, and thank God that we don't put on the hot water for the water dispenser. You will literally press it, put it on. This is probably when I put him to sleep, and me, I'm also sleeping as a pregnant woman, and I didn't realize when he woke up and he would go press it, it can just fling things. It was just destroying things. So I got out of my mind. I spanked him, he cried, and maybe I used to scream a lot at him because, hey, I'm there with no help. My sister helped me a lot, but again, she goes to work, and she was schooling at that time, so she was schooling and she was going to work, and I was left at home, alone at home. And my son literally would just he was after my life. Let me put it that way. He was after my life. So um there was this particular day. I can't recall what he did. I think my sister's dining table set, the chairs were really heavy, and I think he pushed one chair down, and like I said, it was heavy. And this abroad houses, they are made of wood, so anything that drops, you make you feel like something ridiculous really happened. So the chair, being very heavy, dropped on the floor. And the next thing, I came out, I screamed at him that, do you want to break this chair, or do you just want to destroy something else? And he started to cry. And guys, the next thing I knew was my neighbor called the cops on me. And the cops, knowing fully well that I was pregnant, were telling me, oh, blah, blah, blah. They called the cops and said that I hit my son. My son is always crying. My son is always this. I shed tears. Then I had to go for evaluation, maybe brain evaluation classes, because I just had one lady who used to, talk to me. Oh, she doesn't want to miss anything. Oh, do this to your child. To cut the story short, I had to look for a childminder whom I drop my son with in the morning, and I go back home, stay by myself. And when my sister is coming back from work, she picks him up from the childminder, and I think I was paying maybe £100 weekly. Was it £100 weekly or £100 for 2 or 3 days or one day? I can't recall. I had to do that for my sanity. So that's to explain to you a lot that child care is not a joke anywhere you intend to relocate, be it the UK, be it the USA, and be it Canada. So I want to share this, and I have the permission of my friend to share this. We moved here last year, September. Likewise, my friend who moved here last year, September. And we were just sitting around the table in school, and she got a call. And, we didn't realize what the call was until we started hearing, really? I can't come now. I have to come now. Really? What happened? And guess what? It was Social Security that called my friend and said to her that your son mentioned in school that you hit her. This wasn't a joke. Before she knew it, she had to go to the police station. When she got to the police station, do you know what the children are told the police and the social workers? They are told them, oh, daddy used to beat us with belts in Nigeria, back in Nigeria. Daddy used to hit us. Daddy used to beat us. And what did they do? They collected these children from her. This is quite emotional for me because I cannot, in my wild sense or in my wild mind, stay away from my children more than the number of hours they stay back in school. How can I wake up every morning, sleep with my eyes closed, knowing fully well that my children are not in my custody? It's traumatizing. I can almost lose my mind. I can lose my mind. And the annoying thing? They call a psychologist to speak with these children. And most of the time, you'll be surprised that the things that you did and the things that you did not do, these children are talking about it. There are some certain things that, my friend's son mentioned, and they went to my friend's daughter's class because they're in the same school, just to hear from the younger one, to see that, oh, is it saying this thing, just to double check with what they've heard from the first person, from the first child, to weigh their options on how they would give their verdict. And the daughter was saying things that never happened. My mom pushed me from upstairs. My mom hates me. And my friend said that has never happened, because come on, why would I push my own daughter from upstairs? For what reason? So it's so crazy, guys. It's so crazy that the only thing you can do to your children is to sit them down. Find a balance. Go to naughty corner. It's just of recent that another of my friend called me and said, they called her from our own daughter's school and said that you lock up your child in a room. That is punishment, because this was how our own even happened. They asked her, what we'll be discussing today is what did they even talk about? What they will be discussing, and what they'll be discussing is maybe punishment. Let's just assume it's punishment, but they used another word, and they asked all children that what does punishment mean? And the daughter said, punishment is when my mommy locked me up in a room that I should not come downstairs because I was naughty. Do you know that this is another of my friend, the Social Security or the school called my friend and asked, why are you locking up your daughter in a room all by herself? And when my friend was, giving me this story, I'm like, okay, do you do that? And she's like, it's just a naughty corner. Like, just go to your room. Since you are being naughty, just, go to your room and be by yourself. And they called and said, no, that is negligence. And now, every week, social worker knock at your door, sit down, tell you to excuse them because they want to have a chat with your children, and just do like a proper follow up. How is it being? Are you scared of your parents? Is your parent treating you? Has there been anything that you think of, any concern that you think we should, talk about? You should let us know. They'll buy them fruits, they'll buy them games, they'll play games, and your children will keep on saying things and things that never happened. So this is what I do. I don't touch my kids. Back in Nigeria, there will be a bit of spanking here and there, but right here, I don't touch them. I just, I got a lesson teacher who teaches them morals. This lesson teacher is in Nigeria. The lesson teacher is, is supposed to be teaching them, because right here they are way behind. We follow the British curriculum, but right here they take it easy with your children, like, oh, you learn, one after the other. So my children are way, ahead in class. There are things that they've already taught them that my children know. So I love the fact that they are ahead in class. So I continue that. The lesson teacher back in Nigeria keeps teaching them, and I just told the lesson teacher, look, in a day that you teach them in a week, please pick 1 or 2 days for morals. Just let them know things that are wrong, that you do to your parents, that you do to your siblings, that you do to your friends, your classmates, your older ones, your strangers. Just, teach them morals. That's what I just, so left to me, my children knows that, oh, this and these are the things I shouldn't do. Even when they go, there's a bit of hit and miss at times. Even when they go, overboard, I like, okay, there is no screen time for you. You're not watching TV for 1 week. And just deprive them of something that that they will literally die for. I know that my son most especially love to watch, cartoons, love to play games in his PS, love to play this Minecraft game. And I just, anytime he just offends me and I know that he's done something that I know I cannot beat him, I, just deprive him of screen time. Like, no, you're not doing this. And when there is any party, maybe there is birthday parties that he's supposed to go for, and he's fully aware, I might have even bought him clothes, shoes, and for that party, I will let him know that you're not going for that party. Yes, you're not going for it. And when next you see your friend that is a celebrant, when he asks you, why were you not at my party? Say to them, I was naughty, and that was my mommy's way of putting me in order. And for my daughter too, I know she likes cartoons. Whenever she does something that is overboard, I also deprive her of screen time. I deprive her of there is this Sophia whatever cartoons that she likes to buy, or the assembles. I tell her, I'm not buying this particular assembles for you this time around because you did this, and that alone has been working for me. So there is never a time that the school can call me and tell me that, oh, your daughter or your son said you hit them, because it's not happening. I found like, I found a way around it that I would ensure that you do not want to misbehave, because it's not easy. And you know what, this happens the moment your name or your name goes into the system for maybe child negligence, or you're beating your child, or they just it messes up your DBS. In the event that you want to get a job, that they have to check your DBS and they see that you've had prior issues about safeguarding your child, they might not employ you. It's that hard. So you need to guard your heart, you need to guard your mind, you need to be your children's friend, you need to find a suitable round correcting your children without the Nigerian, or do I say the traditional way. Because whenever you are moving to a country, you need to learn their culture. Because even when you're doing interviews, they will ask you at these interviews that, are you willing to learn and abide with our culture? Which you say yes. So if you have to learn and abide with cultures, you need to follow their culture. You need to. You need to, because it's very crazy here. It's very, very crazy here. Crazy things are happening. I've seen parents that they take these children, and where do they take them to? Foster homes. Foster homes that, people who are looking for children that don't have kids, that they will just pour your children. They will allow them, whatever they want, whatever, there are no morals, they eat whatever. You see, it's just crazy. And I don't know if anyone have the same feeling that I'm feeling, having carried my child for 9 months. I didn't even carry my child for 9 months. I carried 2 of my children for 10 months. And someone comes to get them off me. Oh, what am I in the world for? I would rather just die than have my child being taken away from me. So please, it is important that you teach them morals. It is also important that you make them understand that whatever happens in the house stays in the house. I want to believe that there is nobody here that will intentionally want to harm their children or intentionally want to keep beating their children for no reason. I want to believe so. So make them understand that. And when you serve them this punishment, call them back, sit them down. Why did mommy deprive you of screen time? Why did mommy deprive you of an outing? Why did mommy deprive you of buying you that toy? Because you did A, B, C, D. And the reason why you shouldn't do A, B, C, D is because it will blah, 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 blah. So make them understand. These children are also wise. As they grow up, they become wiser. Make them understand why you have done what you did to them and why it is wrong to do it. And most especially, show them love. There is another thing I'll speak to you guys about. A friend of mine, nobody even, the children didn't even say anything to the school authority, or neither did they sort of like, think that anything happened. They just saw that whenever the mom comes to get their kids, from outside, they don't allow anyone into the school. When you want to get your kids, they open the gates now, and the moment there are teachers, holding maybe let's say class 1, class 2, they have their teachers holding them, and the moment they sight you are the mother, they release children to come and meet you. Then this particular teacher noticed that anytime the father comes, there's this withdrawal from the kids when they see their dad. And whenever their mom comes, there's this way mommy, they leave the teachers, run, jump, play with it. They saw that there is a different way that these children receive their parents, and they call the social workers. Now they feel like something might be happening, because they feel like there is a certain way the kids behave whenever they see their dad, and there's a certain way that they behave whenever they see their mom. And they invited them, and they realized that in a traditional way, fathers are meant to be disciplinarians in the house. So there is this, arrangement that we arrange ourselves when we see our fathers. I'm guilty as charged. Whenever, for me, it was the other way around. My dad was, the loving, caring, I grew up, like I earlier said, with my guardians. And it was when he's around, we're happy. It was the other way around for me. When my mom is coming, everybody, you need to behave yourself because she's Margaret Thatcher. So, but in our own generation, I think it's the other way around for our generation. Our husbands are the ones who want to be like, no, you need to fear me. Your mother can be your mate, or your mother can be the one playing with you, but I am your dad and I will put you to place. So just imagine that's how our culture is, or most times is vice versa. And that happens to you. So when you're coming to any foreign land, ensure that you balance it. Ensure that the way the children are showing the mother love is the same way that they're showing the father love. Because the moment they sense that there's a difference, they will call you to order. For me, it's not like that for me because my kids are excited whenever their father is coming in. And why? Because their father will buy pizza, chicken, burger. So they are always looking forward to receiving their dad. Daddy! But it's just natural for my kids to be happy with me, even when I don't buy them anything, because they just feel like there's this, disrespecting me vibe. As if I'm their mate. They just get away with a lot of things with me, but their father takes no stones unturned. It doesn't let them get away, from to talking to, reprimanding to, but that at times they will just do some certain things that me, I will just do that. Please go away. We are not supposed to do it, but their dad will sit them down and talk it out. He's always talking it out, and they're always tired of talk outs. So you need to balance that. Please ensure to balance that. Whenever your kids are receiving you anywhere, not even in school, anywhere. There was a time on the bus that a child was with this was a story someone told me. A child was with someone, and the person called the cops. And the next bus stop, the cops came and interrogated them, that they felt like there was this unusual aura between the stranger, the adult, and the child, that they are thinking maybe it's a case of kidnap, or it's a case of because the child does not seem happy. The child is at a longer edge. And what happened? The child had offended the dad at home, and maybe on the road, and the dad had told the child that I'll beat you when we get home. And the child is, beginning to be scared. And someone, a stranger on the bus, called the cops on them. How crazy. These people, what is not even their business, they poke nose. And for all I care, in all fairness to them, I would say to you, a disclaimer that they are doing their job. Because my cousin works with social worker, and she told me that there are some people that will beat their children as if that the child is not even theirs. There are some people that don't know how to correct children, and that is why they've set up that measure for people who would, like Yoruba would say, Lulu alupamoku. They will get them. Like, you cannot correct with love, you cannot beat with love, you cannot spank with love. And some people, they are taking out their frustration on their children. So that's why they set that body, which we cannot fault them for setting up a body to, have a look over issues like that. So just ensure that all of this are in place for you. Please sit them down, talk them how we love, find a better way to reprimand without beating or eating or knocking or smacking or spanking. They are all totally wrong, at least here in the UK and in the US that I've known. So please find a balance around that. And every other time, I'm sure that you can always even threaten them. There is one of my friends who threatens her daughter with one of her uncles, and the moment that friend in, I'm going to tell Uncle Soji, it's as if the world has come to an end. Uncle Soji, mommy, I'm sorry. Mommy, I'm sorry. Don't tell any Uncle Soji. Mommy, I'm sorry. So at least find somebody that once you mention that person's name, your children are like, no, it's not happening. Mommy, I'm sorry. Yes, you can always find a balance through that way too. So I think that's all from me today on safeguarding. Safeguarding. It is a problem here. Please take care of that before you at least come here. So, how much did you enjoy today's session? Thank you so much for always checking in, and I'll see you again. Do not forget to subscribe, share, and like. See you next time. Bye bye.